They once ruled the airwaves, their voices blasting from battered truck radios and neon bars, but this year those legends shuffle on stage like brittle silhouettes. Wrinkles hug sharp cheekbones, hair once fiery now silver, and mighty drawls have softened into tremulous whispers. Cameras zoom close, fans blink twice. Can that really be the rebel who lit up Austin or the diva who dazzled Vegas? Today we travel the highway of 15 icons, whose every step reminds us fame never negotiates with biology. Expect revelations of lung alarms, nerve betrayals, secret corsets, digital duets, and heart attacks turned to hymns of survival. Stay through the final chord, because hidden inside these fragile frames beats a will tougher than any steel guitar. Willie Nelson begins our journey, a 92-year-old troubadour who once bragged he could outsmoke any cowboy west of the Pecos. The years caught up when chronic lung flare-ups closed his signature bus studio and doctors warned another late-night puff might silence him forever. Unwilling to abandon his plant entirely, he swapped rolling papers for cannabis gummies and keeps a discreet tin of peppermints laced with low-dose THC hidden in his guitar case. Audiences used to roaring through "On the Road Again" now lean forward, straining to catch the airy thread of a whisper that floats above brushed snares like candle smoke. Still, when Willie tips that battered hat and smiles, the roar returns, proof that nostalgia can raise volume faster than any PA system. Stage technicians dim house lights to spare his eyes, and a road manager times each set so it ends before desert winds kick dust across his delicate lungs. Fans who grew old alongside their hero clutch walkers and oxygen tanks of their own, forming a congregation of weathered believers who understand that every exhaled breath still carries the echo of a million jukebox memories. Before each show, a young roadie slides a small oxygen concentrator beneath Willie's stool, its quiet hum blending with pedal steel vibrato. Seasoned fans claim you can almost see him inhale courage before exhaling legend. Dolly Parton could blind onlookers with rhinestones alone, yet the sparkle now masks chronic spinal pain that occasionally launches electric flashes down her legs, mid-chorus. Rumor insists every gown hides a graphite-laced corset shaped by NASA engineers, giving the Tennessee treasure just enough support to hit that final belt in 9 to 5. Backstage, she relies on a velvet-wrapped walker, cracks jokes about being the most expensive tin woman in Nashville, then glides out pretending gravity signed a non-disclosure agreement. At 78, she no longer attempts her trademark stage sprints, letting younger bandmates dash across risers while she pivots slowly, glitter cannons stealing attention from tentative steps. Meanwhile, her longtime friend Whisper and Bill Anderson proves that a voice can evaporate to a hush, yet still command an Opry standing ovation. The 86-year-old remains a weekly host, but new fans scarcely match the softly spoken MC with photographs from his 1960s prime. His frame is reed thin, belt buckle outsizing his waist, and he now reads cue cards through oversized glasses that magnify watery eyes. Aides keep hot tea spiked with honey and ginger within arm's reach, so he can deliver one or two verses of "Still" before gently waving at the balcony. He jokes that the Grand Ole Opry might soon provide him an onstage love seat, yet confides to friends that he fears silence more than death. Fans who secure meet and greet passes describe emotional whiplash, the initial shock of seeing Dolly's cautious shuffle, followed by a flood of warmth when she squeezes their hands with surprising strength and tells them to chase every dream, corset or no corset. Bill, meanwhile, speaks so quietly that devotees press recorders to their chests just to capture his blessings, later boosting the volume at home like decoding a fragile vinyl relic. Technology has become the unlikely backup singer for Randy Travis, a baritone once so mighty it could shake barroom neon. A catastrophic stroke 12 years ago left him unable to form full sentences, much less croon "forever and ever amen," yet artificial intelligence stitched together decades of master tapes to recreate his tone. Now audiences buy tickets knowing the flesh and blood Randy will sit silently in a high-back chair, while a holographic mouth sinks to the speakers, his eyes glistening at the ghost of his own voice. Some call it miraculous, others unsettling, but when that digital drawl hits the final chorus, even skeptics rise with tears leaking beneath cowboy hats. Alan Jackson faces a different betrayal. Charcot-Marie-Tooth, a nerve disorder that steals balance and strength from his once towering frame. On his farewell tour, crew members lay carpet taped with neon stripes so he can locate safe footing beneath the glare of spotlights. Stagehands hover just off camera, ready to steady him if his knees tremble, and die-hard fans near the catwalk formed what they jokingly name the catch line, arms half raised in case their hero stumbles forward. Jackson jokes about trading honky-tonk boots for orthopedic sneakers, yet when the steel guitar intro to Chattahoochee rolls out, he grips the mic stand like a flagpole and lets nostalgia do the heavy lifting. Between songs, he admits the disease will win eventually, likening each performance to pulling another chip from a dwindling stack in life's poker game. When folks scream, "We love you, Alan," he nods and answers, "I'm cashing in every last chip tonight," which might be bravado, prayer, or simply a man making peace with cruel odds. At merch tables afterward, volunteers sell posters stamped with the slogan, "Real voices never retire," the profits funneling into research grants so maybe future singers can dodge the same slow-motion ambush Alan endures. Tanya Tucker storms venues with hair the color of desert wildfire, yet a closer glance reveals the fragility beneath the flame. Years of belting over roaring amps left microscopic tears in her vocal cords, each surgery stealing a sliver of range until whispers now fill gaps where banshee wails once roamed. She paces herself with metronomic gulps of electrolyte gel, hiding the squeeze pouch behind rhinestone tambourines, and spaces ballads between up-tempo numbers so backup singers can cushion missing notes. Still, when she snarls a line like, "I'm gonna love you anyway," the rasp carries grit money can't buy. Barbara Mandrell, long retired, recently appeared at a Hall of Fame gala clad in understated black, prompting murmurs around the room. Is that really the queen who once commanded a stage of spinning steel? 3 decades removed from her prime, she walks with tender caution, palms pressed over replaced hips, yet her smile ignites flashbulbs faster than pyrotechnics. During a tribute performance, she remained seated, fingertips drumming invisible strings on her lap as younger artists covered Sleeping Single in a Double Bed. Afterward, Mandrell waved, thanking the crowd for letting her be present without performing, a whispered permission slip for aging entertainers everywhere. Tanya watched from backstage, eyes glassy, later confessing that seeing Barbara's calm dignity felt like a lighthouse guiding every storm-battered woman in country music safely toward shore. That insight echoed days later when a viral phone clip captured Tanya breaking mid-song, tears mixing with glitter as she addressed the camera. "Girls, save your chords, save your hearts, and when the lights burn too bright, step back before they scorch you." The crowd erupted, 1,000 cracked voices shouting affirmation, proving broken notes can sometimes harmonize more powerfully than perfect ones. Grief has a weight no dumbbell can measure, and Wynonna Judd wears that invisible load like armor studded with memory. Since her mother's tragic self-inflicted exit, Wynonna's relationship with food swung from comfort to combat. Her body swells, retreats, then swells again, mirroring tides of sorrow. Some nights she strides on stage radiating triumphant swagger, yet on others she sings seated, letting the band stretch instrumental breaks while she steadies breath and blinking tears. Between numbers she speaks of healing, cracks jokes about Spanx and therapy, and urges anyone hurting to call somebody before the dark gets loud. Her candid honesty has turned concerts into collective support groups where strangers hug in the aisles during Grandpa. Janie Fricka, once the soft-focused darling of 80s country videos, arrives with snow-white pixie cut and limbs that look too thin to anchor a microphone. She performs sparingly, mostly matinee festivals, stepping gingerly to a stool, guitar balanced like fine china. The first chords of "It Ain't Easy Bein' Easy" flutter out tentatively, but when the chorus hits, her tone still rings like sunlight through stained glass, drawing sighs that ripple through lawn chairs. After the show, fans queue for autographs, stunned by the contrast between television memories and present reality, yet charmed when Jeanie laughs, confiding that dentures make whistling high notes tricky. Watching Wynonna and Jeanie share double bills feels like witnessing two chapters of the same hardback. One bold ink still fresh, the other delicate parchment, both chapters essential to understand the full, unvarnished story of country womanhood. Reporters asked why they tour together. Wynonna answered, "Because sorrow recognizes sorrow, and hope loves company." Jeanie nodded, adding that each signing line shows her how many listeners also battle hidden illnesses or losses, so she treats every signature like a stitched patch on a communal quilt, promising to keep singing as long as hands keep offering albums and hearts keep breaking. Reba McEntire commands television studios, TikTok feeds, and sold-out arenas, but the powerhouse belt that once shot to the rafters now shares space with huskier, lower tones. Years of relentless touring harvested tiny vocal fold scars. Her doctor prescribes enforced silence days before big events, which Reba jokingly calls the hardest homework I've ever failed. She embraces the new timbre, likening it to tasteful oak barrel aging, yet privately frets each rasp is an unpaid invoice coming due. To conserve energy, she shifted from marathon set lists to curated story nights, weaving songs between comedic memories about cattle, heartbreak, and high heels. Meanwhile, 84-year-old Jeanie Seeley, the self-crowned mistress of the road, refuses to miss her Saturday Opry slot, even after 2 emergency surgeries that left abdominal seams as thick as guitar strings. She now performs perched on a tall stool draped in sequins, shoes dangling inches above the stage, spinning her stool like a lazy Susan to greet every quadrant of the crowd. From afar, the swiveling sparkle looks playful. Up close, one spots the controlled breathing and clenched jaw, signaling pain that even rhinestones cannot distract from. During recent floods, Jeanie waded through waist-deep backstage water to ensure the show continued, quipping that Noah probably booked her in advance. Reba watched footage of that soggy determination and tweeted, "That's what a real queen looks like, a digital coronation crossing generations." Both women believe in paying rent on their blessings, and each new ticket sold feels like another receipt stamped by fans who understand talent may fade, but spirit stays in permanent ink. After curtain call, they trade tea recipes and compare physical therapy notes, laughing that their group chat could pass for a medical textbook index. When a young opener asked Jeanie how to last 6 decades, she replied, "Sing the truth, moisturize everything, and keep a pair of dry boots in the dressing room, because you never know when life will flood your stage." Wade Hayes strides onto county fair stages looking lean as a garpike, the lingering result of 2 brutal bouts with stage 4 colon cancer. Surgeons removed feet of intestine and left scars shaped like back road maps across his abdomen, yet Hayes claims the missing sections made room for extra gratitude. He tells crowds that chemo taught him to savor sunrise coffee, even if it tastes like steam off rusty nails, and dedicates Old Enough to Know Better to anyone celebrating clean scans. His once boyish baritone carries new gravel, which suits songs about mortality, and fans stand in silent salute when he points heavenward during guitar solos. Colt Ford offers a contrasting cautionary tale. The larger-than-life party rapper famed for Alabama tailgate anthems suffered a heart attack last year, followed by a diagnosis of myasthenia gravis that turned everyday tasks into uphill battles. Rapid weight loss tightened his trademark overalls. Social media buzzed with shock at the sudden transformation from barrel-chested bulldozer to gaunt preacher of clean living. Ford now opens shows with a disclaimer that heavy breathing and occasional eyelid droop are neurological side effects, not a lack of enthusiasm, then delivers mashups at a slightly lower tempo while hoisting electrolytes instead of beer. The duo recently shared a backstage prayer circle, asking for strong hearts, calm nerves, and just enough energy to finish the encore. An onlooker captured the moment on a cell phone, 2 men once defined by bravado bowing heads like brothers, acknowledging that every beat and breath is rented, never owned. After the show, Colt offered Wade a signed foam finger that read, "This one's for the survivors," joking that stadium merch should come with health insurance. Wade countered by gifting Colt a silver guitar pick inscribed with the date of Ford's new lease on life, reminding him that melodies outlast muscle mass. Spectators online called the exchange the most uplifting thing they'd seen in a decade of doom scrolling. Sammy Kershaw greets interviewers with a handshake that reveals prominent veins and silver knuckle hair, a billboard of years spent battling weight swings, divorce stress, and high blood pressure. The once clean-shaven Cajun crooner now sports a dignified beard flecked with ivory, prompting younger fans to label him Country Santa, while longtime devotees simply applaud the authenticity. Kershaw acknowledges age by lowering keys a step and sitting on a wooden stool for ballads, though he still musters enough gusto to punch choruses of third-rate romance toward the cheap seats. He jokes that every performance burns as many calories as a treadmill, crucial since doctors measure his cholesterol like chart positions. Crystal Gale arrives on adjacent festival bills without the floor-length hair that once brushed boot tips. Arthritis forced her to trim the iconic tresses after tangled strands aggravated aching shoulders. Her relaxed cut reveals elegant cheekbones and a vulnerability that pairs beautifully with the deeper, huskier tone medication gifted her. During soundcheck, she removes rings to ease swollen knuckles, then slips them back on before house doors open, declaring that stage lights make painkillers unnecessary. Audiences initially gasp at the transformation, but when she murmurs the opening line of "Don't it make my brown eyes blue," a hush blankets the venue thicker than any spotlight glow. After the last note, Gale thanks the crowd for accepting evolution, quipping that hair is like a hit single, precious, but life continues long after the radio fades. Backstage, Sammy gifts Crystal a vintage comb mounted in a shadow box, honoring the locks that once captivated late-night TV. She responds by taping a strand of her newly shortened hair beside it, transforming the keepsake into a living timeline. Their easy banter proves camaraderie can bloom among artists who have surrendered vanity, yet cling fiercely to melody. A crew member overheard her saying, "Legends aren't the songs we sang, Sammy, they're the people who keep showing up to hear how we sing them now." Yet the next generation of country dreamers studies these battle-scarred pioneers in real time. Universities stream guest lectures with Reba or Dolly, and students stare wide-eyed at the contrast between their glitter filters and the textured gravity of genuine stardom. Stagecraft professors dissect Randy's synthetic duet, proving emotion can guide circuitry instead of surrendering to sterile perfection. Music business majors break down Willie's switch from smoke to gummies as a masterclass in adaptive branding, learning that authenticity beats denial when markets shift beneath aging lungs. Wellness researchers chart Colt's weight loss saga beside Wade's cancer scars to argue that vulnerability now outranks invincibility as a marketing hook. Social media interns clip Jeanie spinning on her stool and caption it, "Elegance is endurance," racking up millions of views from Gen Zers who recognize resilience even if they barely know the songs. Across lecture halls and phone screens, these icons keep redefining relevance, teaching that survival itself can become the ultimate encore today. Across these tales, one truth rings louder than a honky-tonk amp. Time warps bodies, not purpose. From Willie's oxygen-fed whispers to Crystal's new haircut, each change is a handshake with fate, proving art outlives anatomy. Fans leave shows not with flawless notes, but with lessons in grit, learning that authenticity, not perfection, is country's deepest groove. So, should legends retreat or keep rolling creaky buses? The answer lives in every off-key ticket holder who sings along anyway. These wrinkles and wobbles mirror our own future fights, and their stubborn courage offers the chorus that might carry us forward, even in every dusty small town.